A little while ago, in the very back corner of a large storage area, I found something that had been sitting there for 35 years almost. Our old Zenith VR9800 slash VTR 9850 tuner and video player, Betamax, as well as a VC1600 video camera that my father had used to do a lot of home movies with. And the reason it sat in this closet for so long is because the machine, the Betamax machine, at around 1989 or 1990, started eating tapes. It wouldn't play them, and it would just start destroying them as you tried to put it in there. And I think we had it fixed once, but then a year or two later, once again, it just started eating tapes. So we put it in the closet in the storage area, and it sat there for 35 years. But on the local classifieds, an identical set of these popped up. So I decided to buy it so that I could try to hook up this video camera and see if we can get it working. Have all the original documentation with it as well, including the warranty cards and the operating manuals, because again, that it's technically two separate units there, sits on top of each other. And when you wanted to record a home movie, you had to sling this thing over your shoulder and carry this with you, because that's where the tape would go, and it would connect to this video camera via big long cable. Have to make sure you don't trip over it as you're walking around, and that's how you would record your movies. And then you could bring it back home and hook it up to your tuner that was connected to your TV, and you could watch your recording. So, I've heard, or I've read, I should say, that capacitors could go bad in these old video cameras. So I'm interested to see if the viewfinder will work, if it'll actually project a video image, and if the deck that I bought from the local classifieds will actually record video. I bought a brand new Betamax tape just for this purpose. So I'm going to unpack this video camera. Again, this was our family's original unit that is broken with an unknown issue at the moment. So I'm going to go grab the one that I bought off the local classifieds. It's identical, except it doesn't come with the cover, the case, protective casing. But otherwise, it should be identical. So let me unpack this camera for a better look. Okay, we've got the camera unpacked from the box, the hard case. And this particular unit came from Oldfield Pro Hardware and Radio Shack in Brussels, Ontario, which no longer exists. And then it looks like originally it came from Guelph TV, perhaps. Maybe they sold it to Oldfield Pro Hardware, and then that's who my dad bought it from, I'm not sure. But I've got the local classifieds unit hooked up, plugged in, the display came on, and I've got it plugged into this old LCD. It's still got some of the old inputs that I need. The output from here is just mono, and it's, at least I think it's mono. I've got only mono cable at any rate, and I think this cable came with the actual unit. So at any rate, it's a 3.5 millimeter audio jack that then other end terminates in an RCA cable, and then the video out is RCA as well. So let's power this thing on, and I'll put in a tape that I have used before and I know the quality of, so that we can see if this unit is working properly or not before we start recording on it. And here's the brand new Betamax tape that I have for this purpose. Also have the original Zenith video action control. Look at that beauty. Protected record buttons, so you'd have to slide this little plastic cover down before you could access those record buttons to make sure you didn't record by accident. Okay, so let's power on this LCD. And we'll power on the Betamax unit. Alright, it's looking good. Now, let's eject. Boom. Not a soft eject on that unit. I don't remember there being a soft eject either as a kid. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see if it eats a tape. Oh, that's a good sound. That sounds exactly like I remember as a kid. And I wish you guys could smell through video, because this has such a unique smell. It brings me back to 35 years ago. I was a kid when I would get to use this on occasion. Or even when my dad was filming, you could smell the rubber and the plastic parts of this camera, and it's still reeking of it. It's awesome. Okay, so I got the video in, the videotape in. Let's click play here. Actually, let's try the remote control. Make sure that works okay. We have a picture. Oh, a couple flickers there. That does not exist on the tape, those flickers.
How are you? Welcome. I am roasting chestnuts. No, this isn't a
So it could be either a tracking or a head cleaning issue. I don't know if this has, kind of forget if this has, oh yeah, okay, there we go, manual tracking. Let's see if we can play with that a bit here. I can move this thing. My big fingers.
Well, people lived on chestnuts. You could make them into chestnut flour. I'll show you that today. Chestnut flour, chestnut cakes. You could live on chestnuts.
Okay, well, actually, that looks like it may have helped.
And all you had to do is go out and collect them, because once the pod opens, it means the chestnut is ripe and the chestnut falls to the ground.
This episode of the Frugal Gourmet is on the channel if you're interested. Wow, actually that picture looks really good. I don't see any flickering anymore. So it was just a tracking issue. Just had to move the tracking dial off center to the left a bit, counterclockwise. So here we go. We can listen to the unit in action. Let me turn down the volume so you can hear the tape playing.
American chestnuts were very, very rare.
Just as I turn down the volume, we've got a big, large truck going by outside. Hopefully that's not being picked up. Yeah, this unit's in great shape. Seems to be working perfectly. Oh, to set the clock. I should probably do that. But not right now, because what I want to do right now is plug in that video camera and see if we can get it working. So, I guess this weird looking adapter plugs in there. Even a spot for an external mic. Okay, so I'm going to eject this tape. And then we will connect the camera, and I'll open up this brand new tape and try a recording. Although maybe what I'll also do is, instead of having I'll hook the camera up first, but I want to actually record the output from the camera as well, so that you can see. I mean, hopefully it works. We'll see if it even works. But if it does work, we can get some shots in 2022 with the VC1600 Betamax color video camera. But first, let's eject this tape. And let me also just test the pause and slow motion rewind and forward on this VCR, because I do remember that being quite cool as a kid, especially, you know, if you had footage of you jumping into a pool or something and you could slow motion yourself reversing out of the pool. I used to get a kick out of that. So pause. There we go, we've got pause on the screen. So now if I do this rewind, we've got normal speed rewind and slow rewind. So let's just do normal speed rewind first of all. So this is just playing in rewind at normal speed. And now we could do the slow motion reverse. It's working fine. Slow motion fast forward. Normal speed fast forward, or normal speed forward, I should say. Yeah, everything seems to be working fine. Okay, so let's stop this and eject this tape. And let's hope it ejects okay. Oh, seems good. Didn't need a tape. Woohoo! Okay, so now I'm going to plug in this video camera. Maybe I should reference the quick reference guide, since it has been 35 years since I've even watched my dad plug it in and set it up. I don't think I ever have done it on my own. Alright, recording with the video camera. Tells me what to set the input to, how to connect it, and what to do. Alright, so let me quickly read through this. Plug in the camera, turn it on, and we'll see if we've got any action on it. What do we have here? We've got picture. I was so excited I stopped recording for a second. I touched the stop button. But look at that. 35 years almost this camera hasn't been plugged in. This is the first image that's coming through that lens in 35 years. Oh, I love it. Now the red light isn't on. I'm assuming that red light only comes on when you actually hit the record button. Oh, I'm looking through the viewfinder, and I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this or not through my camera, but I see a picture. There's a line. Yeah, there's a line coming right down through the middle of it. Well, not to the, kind of to the side. You can actually see it. So it's a little bit of a problem there, but I mean, no big deal. I can actually see what I'm filming, so that's great. Ooh, so let's continue on down the list here. So set the record mode to either, what is that, beta 3 or beta 2? I think beta 2 would give us better quality from what I recall. It's a slower speed. You use less, or you get less minutes total on the tape, but it's a higher quality recording, I believe. So let's change it to that. Let's reset this counter. What's this light button? Oh, I see. It's just a little, little bulb that lights up to help you read in the dark. Don't know why they wouldn't have just did the same type of thing they did on the tuner at the bottom, but at any rate. Okay, so we got record mode, beta 2. Connect the power source to the recorder before making camera connection. Okay, well, I don't really know what that means, but so now we've done number 1, and then it jumps all the way down here to power on, which we've obviously already done. Insert cassette. Okay, so now we can take our brand new tape, fresh. Put that in the VCR. I wish that was dampened a bit. Loaded. Okay, so that's done. We've set it to camera. That's all done. Oh, this is set to dim. What does bright look like? Oh, that's better. I'll save it by keeping it on dim. Okay, so insert cassette done. This thing seems to jump all over the place. Where's number 4? 4 is way up top here now. Adjust camera. Okay, we can do that later. Where's number 5? While holding record depressed, press play on recorder. Oh yeah, so that's just how you start recording. Okay, so let's do that. So push these two at the same time. And it automatically went to pause. So 6. Press tape start stop button on camera to begin recording. Okay, where's the tape start stop button? Look at all these controls I'll have to play with. Oh, hopefully it's focusing okay. But it should just be like a normal camcorder, I'm assuming. Yep, there it is there. Alright, I'm going to push that button. And the pause button went off on the VCR. The red record light went on. So I think we're recording right now. Alright, I'm going to push that button. And the pause button went off on the VCR. The red record light went on. So I think we're recording right now. So let me set down my phone. I'll just replace this with the camera. Set the camera down for a second. Put my phone here. Yeah, that'll be good enough. Okay, now let me pick up the camera. All right, here we go. Today is Saturday, October the 20, let me think about this for a second, 29th, October the 29th, 2022. And you are seeing this through a Betamax VC1600 video camera. Now, unfortunately, I'm trying the zoom button and it doesn't seem to be working. Although there's a lock button here. What does that do? Still doesn't seem to be working, unfortunately. No, zoom is not working, I'm afraid. But, all things considered, that's not that bad. Let's try getting some indoor footage here. Oh, I see a light come on, a yellow light in my viewfinder, which I'm assuming is telling me that it's a low light condition. Now, I don't have much room to operate because of this dangling cable. But let me see what I can do here. Sorry, folks. I know this is very bad camera work. All right. Here we go. So this is the workstation that we were just looking at. This is what's controlling the video camera right now. I wonder how the focus is. Now we do have a manual focus that I can play with. But because this viewfinder is black and white for one thing, and it's kind of a little damaged, I'm having a hard time seeing if I need to focus or not. So apologies once again. Try to get some last footage here, just playing with the focus by looking at the monitor. Alright, let's get a shot of the kitchen here. There's some bread being made in the automatic bread maker. That's the noise you might have been hearing earlier. That should be a good focus for that distance. Getting ready to ice my mom's birthday cake. It was her birthday on the 26th. Alright, I'm going to stop here and we're going to try to play back the tape to see how the recording works on this unit. There's a whole bunch of buttons dials I can play with, like the white balance and things like that. I just wish the zoom was working, but again, I'm just pretty happy that this camera even powers on and works. Maybe the button contacts just need to be cleaned a bit. I'll play around with that. Okay, well, I'm going to set this camera down here. Move that chair out of the way. Play with the focus one more time, although it looks like the focus just really wants to be one setting now. And there you have it. So now when you're done recording, I guess you just hit that stop button. And it went into pause mode on the VCR, and the red light went off. And let's just try turning it on one more time to see how the transitions show up on tape. Scene transitions. Okay, so we're recording again. So you just hit that stop button. So we're recording again. And then I'll push the button again. And then I'll push the button again. And we go into pause mode there. Alright, so now that's all that's left for me to do is to play back this tape, capture it digitally, included in this video so you can have a look at the footage, and yeah, pack this back up and maybe play around with cleaning up the contacts underneath this button to see if there's any way I can get the telephoto and wide angle zoom working. But okay, just about to start capturing the footage we just recorded using the Elgato video capture USB. I removed the LCD screen and just plugged it directly into the Elgato. So we'll click the start recording button here. We'll hit play on the VCR. I've already rewound it. Oh, and we even have sound. I was wondering about that. The red record light went on, so I think we're recording. So there we go. I'm going to let this finish capturing, and then I'll obviously include it in the video I post, and you guys will already know that because I'm sure I've already thrown in shots of that. But I do eventually want to get the original machine that I had as a kid working again, so I'll have to see how difficult it would be to repair it. Holds a special place in my heart. All the Betamax clips that are posted to this channel were recorded on this unit here. Oh geez, this padding foam stuff is starting to deteriorate, but and this controller, there were batteries left in it unfortunately for about 30 years, so it's a little bit corroded in there. I'm gonna have to definitely clean that up before that controller will work again. But luckily I have a working unit complete with controller thanks to the local classified ads, and it's working great. Very anxious to see what this footage looks like full screen. I'll just let it finish. Once again, guys, thanks for watching.